Hello, welcome to another video where we are going to look at the battles from someone you might know. His name is ThoTechtical, I think. He's playing against Memi. I don't know what his name means. It's supposed to mean something funny. My Spanish is no bueno. I'm trying with Duolingo right now. But that obviously takes a while. Anyway, let's take a look at this matchup here. Tho has a slight team combat advantage with his Cresselia beating literally everything in the zero shoots from Memi's team. Obviously, Gliscor is a little bit iffy. It might run Fury Cutter just for that reason. If it boosts, it has a better matchup. But on the other hand, the Cresselia looks really good from Tho. Dubwool on the other hand, from Memi looks really good as play against pretty much everything but Virizion. But Virizion's pressured by the Galarian Weezing, by Walrein is neutral, Tentacruel is around, Gliscor hard beats Virizion. So there is play from both sides here. Let's take a look at how Tho versus Memi goes. We have game number 1 here. There's also a really flat thing on Tho's team, the Euphis. I don't think we're going to see much of that. Basically because one of these things is one of the reasons. Tho swaps into Cresselia right away, and this is exactly what he wants. Baits out that Gliscor, which also Purify, by the way. It's pretty cool, but maybe it runs Return, so that's something you have to look out for now. Nitrous comes in. You see how little that does. No boosts, luckily for Tho, unlucky for Memi. It's only a 1 in 8 chance. These future sides are going to do a lot. Though it doesn't really need Moonblast for anything. Grass Knot, it's super effective on Swampert and Walrein. Future side hits harder because it has stab on everything else, and super effective on the Galarian Weezing and Tentacruel. As you can see, another Night Slash still won't do it. Though going for a bait here, seeing if he can pull a shield here, but Memi doesn't shield, unfortunately. Probably not fearing that Walrein as much. It's very likely Memi brings that double here because double is so good and neutral for him. Tho going for another Grass Knot. If this goes unshielded, then it will take out the Gliscor, and Tho takes switch advantage. Though if you expect the double here, you probably are fine with it. Fine with bringing back your own Walrein here. This does give Memi a little bit of an opportunity to gather more energy against this Cresselia and have a slight energy advantage against those Walrein. So that does give you a little bit of an edge there. If you remember this matchup from last season, this was terrible because this is so bait dependent. Icicle Spears don't do anything. Earthquakes on the other hand do quite some damage, but they take way more energy. And indeed is the Dubwool in the back. Really good strat by Tho, baiting out that Gliscor with the Cresselia. And then in the back is the Dubwool, because this Virizion does now not need to fear that Gliscor anymore, which is basically the worst matchup it can face. Obviously Tentacruel is not great either, but how high are the odds you bring something like a Tentacruel Galarian Weezing as Memi when you know Cresselia is going to be around all the time? So that makes Virizion somewhat safer though. Dubwool still puts up a good fight here though. As you can see, the double kicks and the body slams, they come out real quick. Memi uses both his shields here, which kind of surprising here. I think you barely survived this body slam, but though not taking any risk, simply because the Sacred Sword, even if caught, it does really good damage on both Pokemon. And at this point, this might take out the Dubwool, maybe barely not. Either way, Tho's in a great spot here because he can even get to another move here. Not revealing the Leaf Blade here, not sure if that's intentional or not, but it's super effective anyway. And he has an Earthquake Store, so that wins in the battle. Leaf Blade is actually more energy efficient than the Sacred Sword is. But maybe Tho wants to make Memi think he has something like Close Combat or something. We will never find... You will never find out. I'm on the Steam, I will know, but you will not. Either way, this proves how good that Cresselia really is. Even the best answer from Memi, the Gliscor, couldn't pull it off in the zero shields, despite calling a bait. And on top of that, he's not running the Fury Cutter. And I think Fury Cutter for Memi would have helped. Obviously, that makes Virizion even stronger, because then Virizion is very difficult for Gliscor, because all the charge move Gliscor can throw are resisted then. Or maybe you could go with like Aerial Ace on the Gliscor to lift that disadvantage. Anyway, let's take a look at game number 2 between these two battlers. We have the Cresselia lead this time against the Dubwool. Now, Dubwool does run Payback, but it's still a matchup that Dubwool doesn't really like, and you're about to find out right now why that is. Payback or Body Slam coming in, here comes Payback. doesn't even do half. It's a really strong dark type move. Cresselia takes it like a queen, It's a female. At first future sight is actually shield already. I mean, makes sense for Mimi because it's obviously the hardest hitting move that Cresselia can throw, and it just does big damage on basically everything on Mimi's team. Going for another future sight here. I don't think this double might even be able to farm down because double kick is resisted, non-stab, just doesn't do anything. I'm not sure if you can get to a future sight though, but Toad does get to a grass knot. Memi, perfect counting, catching on that Galarian Wheezing. And that is resisted, but now Toad can align his Gliscor, because the initial idea was to let the Cresselia go, then your Gliscor would not be locked in a potential Walrein that Memi could have. And Walrein is kind of good for him. Looks like he's running Player Off on this. That makes sense. Player Off is probably his best neutral move. The other might be Brutal Swing for the Cresselia. Could also be... I don't think you want Overheat, right? You have Player Off for Virizion as well. But yeah. Galarian Wheezing really is there to trap that Virizion. Fortunately, not finding a target that it needs. And in the back from Memi is opposing Gliscor. Now, we were kind of afraid of opposing Walrein at this point, but since he has his own Gliscor, Walrein in the back for Toad looks really good and is pretty much almost unlosable. He also gets a boost, which doesn't really matter as much. Though that does give the opposing Gliscor less momentum to get to a potential Earthquake against the Walrein. It only has like 2 wing attacks in right now. This double has energy, but is very low in health. It will feign to 1 Icicle Spear here. And double generally has a good matchup, simply because double kicks also are super effective, and Body Slam is just a really strong neutral stab move. Let's see, Toad farming up more energy. And then going for the first Icicle Spear. Finally, the one thing about Walrein versus Double is though, their attack levels are very similar, but Double generally wins CMP because for Double you're looking for something like a hundo, while a good IV Walrein has like 143 attack, which is about 3 lower than Double. Double is 146. So generally Walrein loses CMP, though lost track a little bit of that, but this Gliscor is not gonna get to an Earthquake anyway. This is a Night Slash. He threw right away on 4, hoping for a boost and potentially farm on the Walrein, but that's not happening. Toad gets to another Icicle Spear, and it is 2-0. So this time Toad didn't bring the Virizion. Memi really prepared for the Virizion with the Gliscor and the Galarian Wheezing. Just barely wasn't enough. I think his strategy was to like win the lead and then win with your Pokemon in the back with alignment there. So didn't work out. Let's see if Toad can pull in a 3-0 here potentially, or if Memi can take a point back. We have Cresselia lead into Gliscor. This is pretty neutral, I'd say, even though Cresselia takes super effective damage from the Night Slash the whole time. This can only go wrong if Gliscor boosts on the first Night Slash. Otherwise, Toad is pretty fine here. First Night Slash comes in. And he boosts. Now, this is very scary because we have Virizion in the back for Toad. And the problem there is you can't really swap out and have this Gliscor alive. But this Gliscor will outpace to another future side. If Toad throws a Grass Knot, the Gliscor farms up more energy, so you basically have to go for future side here. And since Memi is counting very well here, he throws on the CMP with the future side from Grass, wins it and takes it out. Coming in the Walrein immediately, and this is actually great for Toad, because at this point, he throws Earthquake immediately, very smart, because then Memi can't sneak an Icicle Spear, right? Because he took 1 turn because of the switch. It does get shielded, but at this point, Toad, it might be double in the back, and in that case, Toad in a very good spot. On top of that, Toad uses shields here because the damage that Virizion takes from Gliscor is basically only fast move damage. Everything else, the Night Slash, the Earthquake, did we even see Earthquake? I don't remember, honestly. But it's all resisted on Virizion, so it honestly might even be returned. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe we'll see this game. Does Toad shield here as well? He does shield his Walrein, keeping it very healthy in case the Gliscor comes back in later. But Memi swaps into the double right away, and this basically now means it's gonna be over. The thing is, if Memi stays in, Walrein just farms up so much energy. But on the other hand, you could align your double to the Walrein. So, but on the other hand, so much energy is so difficult to manage, and you don't have charge move pressure for that Gliscor. Though knows he loses CMP with Virizion to double. They also have like similar attack, but double generally has a bit higher. Another Sacred Sword coming in. And we actually have Leaf Blade for the Gliscor, so we can actually hit that, even though he hasn't revealed it yet. There's still Walrein, though, from Memi. And he has a shield, but I don't think this is very winnable. Going straight for that Leaf Blade here. Now reveals the move. I believe Tho has an Icicle Spear. He does get shielded. Now he throws the Icicle Spear. And that's game over, because that Walrein has too little HP, too little energy to get to an Earthquake here and then take out the Virizion as well. Another Icicle Spear comes in, and that's a 3-0 win for Tho. Obviously, the Cresselia was really difficult to manage for Memi, but give a player like Tho a very dominant pick like that, and it's just really difficult to overcome. So, Cresselia proven again. Way too broken, but that also shows you kind of need to counter it well, whether that's Go Battle League or Show 6 Pick 3. Thank you, Tho, for featuring these battles. I hope you liked the video, and have a good one. Bye.